G'day guys, we finally have the index for World Eaters in our hands, so let's have a look at what these blood-soaked maniacs can do in 10th edition Warhammer 40k.
Look for the Blood God.
Alrighty, let's have a look at Kharn the Betrayer, everybody's favorite murdering psychopath, everybody's favorite disloyal heretic, Kharn the Betrayer. So, he's changed pretty dramatically in the role that he fills in a World Eaters army now. Now, you can pretty safely attach him to World Eaters units, and basically in the charge phase, if he's not within engagement range of enemy models, you take a leadership check, and if he fails, one model from his bodyguard unit is destroyed. Now, he's got pretty high leadership, pretty strong leadership, so it's unlikely that this is going to happen, and it also is negated if he is in combat, which is, to be honest, where he should be as often as possible anyway. So this means that you're not likely to take casualties the way you used to. He used to be a serious liability in World Eaters lists. Now, he's seriously really valuable. Further to that, he used to be pretty much just a solo operative. He was somebody that did damage, really high damage, but that was more or less all he did. Whereas now, he's providing aura buffs to your units. Being able to reroll those hit rolls of 1 and those wound rolls of 1 is just going to mean that any unit of berserkers that he is attached to is just going to be way more consistent, way more reliable, and put out generally more damage than they otherwise would. Provided he's not hyper expensive, I think this is an absolutely insanely good value upgrade for a World Eaters unit. The other thing worth noting here is that Kharn the Betrayer always fights on death. So even if your opponent does hit you hard, kill all the berserkers, and then kill Kharn, your berserkers are likely going to be fighting on death on a 4+ if you've spent the abilities to do so. But further to that, they are going to be giving him the ability to fight on death regardless, which is really, really strong, and it means that no matter what happens, Gorechild is going to be coming to bear and swinging that chain axe. The other thing worth noting is that if you do add Kharn the Betrayer to a berserker unit, when that unit is shot, every time a berserker dies, you get to make a blood surge move with Kharn the Betrayer. It's no longer just the World Eater berserker unit, you're actually doing it with the characters that are attached to the unit as well, because that unit is treated as one for all rules purposes. Which means if you put Kharn all the way at the front of that unit, berserkers trailing back, and then your opponent hits you, you remove one of the berserkers from the back of the unit, you make your blood surge move, and you launch Kharn forward into them. Which means people are going to be really, really scared of Kharn the Betrayer. You cannot afford to be anywhere near those berserker units when they are making those blood surge moves if they're packing a character like Kharn the Betrayer nested away inside. Let me know what you guys think of Kharn the Betrayer. Do you think he's an interesting new data sheet? Is this something that you're going to be adding into your list? I, for one, absolutely love Kharn the Betrayer, as you can probably guess. I've pretty much modeled my entire brand around this blood-soaked maniac, and I am so excited that he is looking like he's going to be highly competitively viable, and he's going to be playing on the tabletop the way you would want him to play. He's not doing more damage to you than the enemy. Sometimes he'll do damage to you, but that's generally because you didn't give him what he wanted, and that is skulls. And if you don't give him those skulls, he's going to take them one way or another. So being able to aggressively wield him, get blood surge moves to launch him further into combat, and do serious damage with him whilst he buffs those berserkers nearby because they want to impress him. So they're getting reroll 1s to hit, they're getting reroll 1s to wound. He's going in with Gorechild doing massive damage. I just think that's going to make for a really interesting little unit. And it also means that when you put stratagems on that unit, like +1 to wound in melee, that's going to apply to Kharn as well as all of the berserkers. So these units are going to have massive damage potential.
Look for the Blood God.
farmer community suffers from some of the most prohibitively expensive essentials in the world, especially Australian content creators. Every single day, Dean wants to create content, but he can't. Suffering from old, worn-out brushes, expensive model kits, and costly software and equipment he can't endure much longer. Just look at this dirty paint water. Would you drink this? Would you let your child? Even a small monthly donation can help provide Dean with clean paint water, basic tools for survival, and access to life-saving information and education. So please, follow the links in the description below and find out how you can sponsor Dean today and end the suffering. Suffering that is cruel, unsustainable,